I studied mathematics when I was younger and did a PhD, and I guess all that, ever since I was young, I've really liked mathematics and music. Those two things were always my two passions, I guess. And but I think when people think about mathematics, the kind of public perception of mathematics is more like a kind of laboratory science, or from their experience of school, it's very about memorizing facts and figures and things like that. And it changes a lot once you get to a kind of research level, PhD level. It becomes much more creative and intuitive and poetic even. And that's when it really came alive to me. That's when I really found that I really enjoyed it. You know, music is kind of this ephemeral thing. It happens in the air. It's something that's difficult to pin down, and also requires our imagination so much. We conjure up so much of the way we feel about and respond to music based on our preconceptions and our imagination and those things. When I was a teenager, I started putting on parties in Toronto when I was living there and DJing, even before I'd released any music. And so there was a while that I didn't DJ so much. When I was in the mid-2000s, I was making more music that sounded more like kind of psychedelic rock, was less dance music oriented. So in the last few years after the album Swim came out, I got a chance to DJ more, and I was super excited about that. And I started making more music specifically to play in those DJ sets. And that's how I would listen to the tracks that I'd made, and I'd be super happy with them and happy with the way that people would respond to them when I'd play them out in DJ sets. But it didn't make sense to release those as Caribou songs, because Caribou had become something that was about kind of songwriting and me singing a lot of the time. So I thought, okay, I've got to have a separate name to release these under. And that's what I continue to do with the Daphni stuff. I still DJ quite a lot, whereas I've made music that's all sorts of different types of styles and stylistically. And it took me a long while to kind of pick out what the things were that were continuous or the same throughout all of that. My favorite music kind of marries something unconventional or slightly experimental, slightly odd, with a melody or harmony that's really immediate and, you know, poppy to a certain degree, that kind of catches your ear and, you know, sticks in your head. We're playing in a tent here at the festival, which is always really great for us, because it feels like people are it kind of contains the energy of the people watching the show in a way that feeds back really well into where we're playing.